one.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. There's been yet another killing of a non-local in Kashmir. This time, 2 labourers from Uttar Pradesh were shot dead in Shopian. This comes after the tragic killing of yet another Kashmiri Pandit, R.K. Bhatt, outside his house. This year alone, close to a dozen Hindus and non-locals have been killed in what can only be called targeted killings. The question is, when will this stop? Do the Kashmir political parties need to stop patronising this kind of terror? Does the centre and the LG administration in Kashmir need to wake up to the reality that yes, Article 370 is gone and that may be a good thing, but all is not well in Kashmir? Not yet.
The valley of death strikes again as terrorists target Hindus and non-locals in Kashmir. The latest victims are 2 labourers from Uttar Pradesh, Manish Kumar and Ram Sagar. They were asleep in a tin shed in South Kashmir's Shopian district when terrorists hurled a grenade inside.
शुपियान में टारगेट किलिंग का सिलसिला जारी है और हरमैन में जो रात के 1 बजे जो वाक़ा पेश आया वो इसी जगह पर पेश आया है कि वहाँ पे जो है पुलिस के मुताबिक जो हाइब्रिड मिलिटेंट जो था उन्होंने यहाँ से ग्रेनेड थ्रो किया और यहाँ पे जो 2 नॉन लोकल कश्मीरी मजदूर थे उन्होंने वो यहाँ पे सोए हुए थे.
The attack comes just 2 days after terrorists shot dead a Kashmiri Hindu, Puran Krishan Bhatt, outside his home in Shopian. In fact, Hindus and non-locals have become sitting ducks for terrorists. Government employee Rahul Bhatt was gunned down inside his office in Badgaon on the 12th of May. On the 31st of May, Rajni Bala, a teacher, was shot dead in her school in Kulgaon. On the 2nd of June, a terrorist walked into a bank in broad daylight in Kulgaon in South Kashmir and opened fire, killing Vijay Kumar, an employee at the bank. Make no mistake, these are not random killings. Manish Kumar, Ram Sagar and Puran Krishan Bhatt were all targeted by terrorists because they were non-locals or from the Hindu community.
हम रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहते हैं गवर्नमेंट से बार-बार 140 दिनों से करते आ रहे हैं. एलजी साहब से हमने यही दुआ लाई है कि हमें जम्मू से कश्मीर से जम्मू को ट्रांसफर किया जाए.
सिविल जान जो है हमारी बचाई, इतनी लाशें भर के आप वहाँ से लाएंगे?
ये आज की बात नहीं है. टारगेट किलिंग का सिलसिला वहाँ 1 साल से शुरू है. राम राज्य के हिंदू तबके बड़े-बड़े वादे किए जाते हैं सरकार की तरफ से. क्या ये है हिंदू राष्ट्र?
Lashkar-e-Taiba offshoot TRF has warned that attacks on so-called outsiders will continue.
तमाम मिलिटेंट्स जो हैं, मैं बार-बार कहता था मैंने कि वो कश्मीरियों के हमदर्द नहीं है. तो मिलिटेंटों का और पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तानी फौज को इस बात का एहसास ही नहीं है कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं.
पहले 370 से ये हो रहा, आज तो 370 नहीं है. मेरी क्यों मृत्यु हो रही है? इसके जिम्मेदार कौन है?
On ground, the fear and anger among Hindu minorities is boiling over. They don't want to become another statistic in the valley of death. So can the government wipe out terror from Kashmir once and for all?
Let's open this up to our guests. Shazia Almi, BJP national spokesperson, joining us. Ashok Pandit, filmmaker and activist. SP Waid, this former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir. Majid Haidari, senior journalist. And Ahmed Ayaz, political analyst, also joining us. Let me start with Shazia Almi. The fact is that from teachers to bank employees to business folks and now even non-local labourers, all of them seem to be targeted in what can only be called crimes inspired by hate. They were singled out for their religion. They were singled out for not being locals. At least a dozen of them have died this year alone. There is a feeling amongst the Hindu community there, the Kashmiri Pandit community there, that they are becoming sitting ducks in this larger jihadist terror warfare that has been unleashed in the Kashmir Valley. The question is, what is the government doing to protect them?
Well, we all know that the government has taken all measures and they're also reviewing the operations that have been taking place and assessing the damages and what is happening to our Hindu brethren there. The fact of the matter is that this is we all know that the hybrid terrorist who was behind this particular attack, behind the two migrant laborers who were killed, and others, that this is actually a part of targeted killings, and it is a matter of great, I can't even say anger, but like deep sorrow that we are losing so many people there, and I think everything is being done, whatever is possible. But government is seized of the matter, and LG has been responding. The ADGP has reviewed the operation, so to speak. So I guess it is much more needs to be done. But I think the government is doing everything possible to contain this and to expose the masterminds across the border.
Ashok Pandit, from Rahul Bhatt to Amreen Bhatt, Satinder Kaur, Rajni Bala, Makhanlal Bindru, and this latest round in which PK Bhatt, Ram Sagar and Manish Kumar have been killed. Yes, there is a feeling that, this is in response to the normalcy that has come back to the Kashmir Valley, at least in terms of the number of tourists who are coming there. Business and livelihood seems to be coming back to a sense of normalcy. Is this elements from across the border who are instigating stuff inside Kashmir deliberately, seeking out these targeted killings so that there is a chilling effect? And are you convinced with what Shazia has said that the LG administration there is doing everything they can to protect as many people of the Hindu community, Kashmiri Pandits, as is possible?
Zaka, I'm really thankful to you for raising a very pertinent question. In all the shows I have been attending. It's really a very pertinent question because this is exactly the question which every Kashmiri Pandit and a victim of terrorism in Kashmir is asking. You see, for me, as a Kashmiri Pandit and as an Indian, I don't deny the fact that the intentions of the government is not there to set the things right. But today, my next generation, my people around, my parents, everybody around, every Kashmiri Pandit is asking one question, which you have raised very rightly, is that what has changed for me? What has changed for me? For me, nothing has changed. The way Poonam Bhatt was killed, the way Rahul Bhatt was killed in 2022, exactly in 1989, Tiklal Toplu was killed, Premnath Bhatt was killed, Neelkant Ganju was killed, Girja Tikku was raped. So, for me, for a Kashmiri Pandit, who is a true Indian right from day one and still is, for me, nothing has changed. I am still the victim of terrorism. I have suffered the worst possible genocide. I have suffered the worst possible ethnic cleansing. It is one of the biggest human tragedies of the world, which this country till now had not recognized. Since 2014, things have changed. There is no doubt about it. But today, when there are more than 5,000 Kashmiri Pandit employees on the streets of Jammu, fearing for their lives, working in Kashmir, demanding for their relocation, I want to ask Shazia Elmi on behalf of BJP, why are they not being relocated? What is stopping them to be relocated? Are you using us as a proof, as a duck there, that I want to tell the world that Kashmir is absolutely fine, all the Kashmiri Pandits are living there, and you're not able to stop my killing? Because that's not possible. The day a terrorist decides to kill a Kashmiri Pandit or a Kashmiri Muslim who thinks he's an Indian, nobody can stop. No security in this country can stop some terrorist who wants to decide to kill, because they are target killings. Everybody who has been killed in their office, at their home. Things have changed, strategy has changed. So the question which you have raised, Zaka, is absolutely the question my entire community is asking. Every victim of terrorism is asking. There is an intention, there is growth, and let us not compare tourists with our killings. Because tourists are going there temporarily, they are feeding them, they are giving them money. For them, a temporary stay is not an issue. For them, a Kashmiri Pandit who symbolizes India, who thinks, who creates, who says that he's an Indian, The presence of India in Kashmir is because of Kashmiri Pandits, and that's why they drove us out. So the question today to the government of India is,
Okay.
how will you protect the Kashmiri Pandit there, or anybody who thinks he's an Indian?
Let me ask SP Vaid Saab, as former DGP, I think Ashok Pandit has a valid point. I mean, there are about 3,000-4,000 Pandits who've been rehabilitated. Many of them are living in camps. There is a feeling among them that they are sitting ducks. They are being singled out for their religion. They are being singled out for either they are or non-locals are being singled out. The question that's being asked is there anything more that the administration, the law enforcement agencies, the police force there can do? Because let's face it, it's not a large population that needs to be protected. It is a fairly small number of people. But if they are being singled out and killed, like we've seen with Rahul Bhatt and Amreen Bhatt in this latest case of PK Bhatt and the two laborers, then the intention behind those killings is to send out a chilling effect.
Zaka, something is amiss. That's why these incidents are happening. It's not without any reason. And when particularly we know after last year's September meeting of the ISI chief, when after suffering repeated reverses while fighting with the security forces, since Operation All Out was launched, if you recall, 2017 when I was DGP, and then abrogation of Article 370 on 5th of August 2019. There, I think more than 1,000. I don't have exact figures at my tips, but more than 1,000 terrorist ranks have been eliminated. Their weapons have been eliminated. So they came out with this new strategy of targeted killings, and this low investment, high return type of strategy, where you don't lose your men, you don't lose your weapon, you use a small weapon, you use a hybrid terrorist who's not in the figure. You know all these things. I don't want to repeat. So they are going in for these strategies, and when we know, coming to the Kashmiri Pandit issue, see, when we know that they are the target and they would be targeted, there's no second thinking about it. And I think a comprehensive composite plan needs to be drafted. Okay. And we need to have Kashmiri Pandits who are staying in Kashmir Valley in a well-protected place, not that 10 families are living in a village in South Kashmir like Shopaiya or Kulgam, and you have a 2-8 guard. After all, those men have to go to the field, they have to go to their orchard, they have to go to the bazaar, they have to go to for their workplace. What is the mechanism of protecting them? So we need to have a secure accommodation for them, a secure place for residence, secure place of work. Teachers are working in villages. Yeah. They are sitting ducks. I have no doubt a manager working in a remote rural village, rural bank branch, he would be targeted. So they need to be posted in areas which are where no one can enter without frisking, which are guarded. And what is the mechanism of their transport from place of residence to place of work? Yeah. And those we can accommodate like this, properly secure, fine. Those who cannot be, I don't think we should sit in press this issue.
I want to ask Majid Hydari as well as Ahmed Ayaz. Majid Hydari first. You know, it's not just about the targeted killings, but that mindset. Yes, 370 may have gone, but there is a certain mindset which is being propagated by the Kashmir-based parties. Even today, a senior leader like Farooq Abdullah says that targeted killings in Jammu and Kashmir will not stop unless the centre holds talks with Pakistan. Now, I want to ask, sir, a very simple question. Why should India talk to Pakistan about something that's happening in Kashmir? 370 was removed for precisely this, that Jammu and Kashmir will always continue to be an integral part of India. And admittedly, like I said, the government really needs to also sit up and tell itself that yes, 370 may have gone, but it's not like all is well in Kashmir. But please explain to me, what does Farooq Abdullah mean by targeted killings will never stop until you talk to Pakistan? Either Farooq Saab is saying Pakistan is responsible for this, or then we need to deal with our problems on our own.
Well, certainly, Zaka Saab, it's not about the killing of two laborers, Ram Sagar and Manish Kumar. It's about depriving a nation of its hands, which have built India brick by brick, stone by stone, on every front. And it is what the idea of Honorable Prime Minister is about Vikas. So the people, the main force behind Vikas are the laborers. And we in India say that Mazdoor ka pasina khushk hone se pehle usko uski mazdoori do. But what these Mazdoor got in Kashmir was bullets, and they got killed. Now, before talking about Dr. Farooq Abdullah or Mehbooba Mufti or the neighboring country, let's look at one thing very important. We can't blame Manoj Sinha ji much for what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir because he's the third LG or governor to have been replaced in the last 4 years. But what about accountability of Jammu and Kashmir police? This year alone, we have held many debates where we said that, okay, now we need accountability. How many police officers were attached, transferred, or placed under suspension for dereliction of any kind of duty? No. And now coming to the point of neighboring country. See, sir, the BJP has been talking about the neighboring country. Shazia Almi Saiba will again talk about the neighboring country. But my government, the Indian state, has been silent. My government doesn't talk about that thing. My government holds 2 cricket matches with them. It distributes sweets on the Independence Day. It goes for trade with them. Our Honorable Prime Minister writes a letter to his counterpart in Pakistan over the flood situation.
Majid Saab,
no.
Majid Saab, let's be very clear about certain facts tonight. There is a terror factory that operates from across the border. There is absolutely no two ways about it. There are foreign imported terrorists who have been wreaking havoc in Kashmir. Not just, this is not yesterday or day before yesterday. This has been happening for the last 30, 35 years. That absolutely undeniable fact. Yes, the new phenomenon that we're seeing over the last year or so, this thing called hybrid terror, where sometimes local elements are involved, 1 or 2 lone wolf attacks are happening, and individuals who have nothing to do with what's going on in Kashmir, who have nothing to do with the politics there. They are simply... No, one second. Please tell me, what fault was it of Manish Kumar, Ram Sagar and PK Bhatt, other than the fact that they were perhaps Hindu, or in the case of the 2 laborers, they were non-locals, they were non-Kashmiri? What fault? What did they die for? You please tell me that.
Zaka Sahab, what difference does it make? No, firstly, what difference does it make a terrorist or a hybrid terror or enemy-sponsored terror? The point is that somebody is getting killed. We need to look at terror, not its manifestations. The point is that we have terror and our security grid is failing to counter that.
No, it makes a huge difference. Majid Saab, it makes a huge difference who is being killed and why he or she is being killed. Like I said, in the case of PK Bhatt, the only reason he was killed is because he's a Kashmiri Pandit. And the reason he was killed was that to send a chilling effect to the remaining 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 Pandits who are living and working in Kashmir, that leave this place. You don't belong here. That is the intention of this killing.
No, certainly I do agree with you on that. But has government come up with any formal statement? Has New Delhi come up with any formal statement that these targeted killings are taking place because of A, B, C? No. New Delhi has been silent, and that is my point. Now let Shazia Almi Saiba say, why is the government silent when she keeps talking?
Okay, Shazia, say, respond to what Majid is saying. Okay.
I think New Delhi has never been clearer, and I think it's for everybody to see. The international community and the citizens of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. I want to ask you, Majid Saab, you just said that LG administration is doing the very best and they need to do more. And we need not ask questions of Farooq Abdullah or Mehbooba Mufti. But when there is a kind of justification, as we hear, that see, you removed 370, Article 370, abrogated it, nothing came out of it, and this is how it is. So when you justify or condone or become an apologist for these targeted killings based on religion and religion alone, and when we talk about a factor and we talk about hybrid terrorism, which means there is support of locals too, surely the mentality which says that which condones this also has to be condemned completely. And don't you think that these brutal killings that have happened and absolutely merciless, the mentality behind this, that that we will be apologists for the jihadist elements there who are killing our Hindu brethren, that mentality also has to be blamed. So which is why questions must be asked of Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti and all those who support and actually want to cock a snook at the center, saying that, you abrogated 370. See what's happening.
No,
It's very clear
there
that
is an
because of
attempt.
but in normal
There is an
you want
attempt,
them
I think, by
them
the
that all is not
establishment, the established political parties in Kashmir, whether it's NC, PDP, etc., to try and draw a correlation, Ahmed Ayaz. Every time there is a killing, a targeted killing, if it's a Pandit or a non-local, there seems to be this attempt by Mehbooba Mufti, by the Abdullahs, that look, all this is because 370 was abrogated. Fact of the matter is, and I'm sticking my neck out here and saying, no political party which is in power at the center or may come to power in the center is in a position to bring back Article 370. The ground has shifted from beneath your feet. There is no going back to Article 370. So it's about time that the Kashmiri parties understood this reality, that no matter which political party may be in power in New Delhi, 370 is history. And to draw these sort of untenable comparisons that just because 370 has gone, targeted killings are happening, I don't think that is helping, least of all, the cause of the Kashmiri Muslim. Ultimately, I'm a firm believer that a majority of Kashmiri Muslims just want to get on with their basic lives and livelihoods, and this is coming in the way of that. These targeted killings are coming in the way of that.
Yes.
Ahmed Ayaz.
You see, I must tell you that, see, everybody would be interested to see that the politics is done on the issue. There's no doubt about it. If at all it is being done by the Farooq Abdullah or Mehbooba Mufti or anybody else, BJP. I mean, there is nothing surprising, but the question is that how responsibly they make the politics, that's important. But before that, certainly things are not well, as you initially told. Things are not well in Kashmir. And it's not that what Shahjah says, me say, or somebody else says. It is what we sense from the ground, right from the, even if we take only the cases right from Rahul Pandit till the killing of these two laborers yesterday. I mean, you see how many people have been targeted, and then the Kashmiri Pandits who are coming in, who are working there, they too have fled away. And thereafter, how many people have been killed, somewhere in the school, somewhere in the office. So definitely, it's not that anybody can say that things are so well. So to say that things are well and everything has been done, I don't think that's the question.
But the question is, Ahmed Ayaz Saab, why are things not well? Things are not well because certain people, and you know, obviously no one's going to make the comparison between terrorists and mainstream politicians, but let's face it, that there were certain people who benefited from the old system who are now saying that all of this is because you've taken away an article, which is not the case. The fact is that 370 is gone. This is the new reality in Kashmir. And if a majority of the people there have come to accept this reality, then जिनके राजनीतिक रोटियां अभी सेक नहीं रहे हैं, सिर्फ वही लोग बोल रहे हैं ना कि ये सब 370 को हटाने की वजह से है.
I was coming to that people will try to make a politics out of it. They definitely will try. After all, they have to have something to sell. What they will sell, they will have to decide. And possibly they have taken a point of 370 to sell in the public in coming elections, the way BJP was in the past taking about price rise and etc. Of course, there is nothing surprising, but that's what I say. Point is that in view of the existing present situation, how seriously and how responsibly somebody should take, that's important. And we don't see also, while they are behaving somewhat irresponsible, where they are behaving somewhat irresponsible, there we don't see the policies of the government also changing. We see again the same security men facing the gun who was the way he was facing in the 90s. Okay. And there is no change in the policy.
Ashok Pandit, how will things change? If Farooq Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti are accused of not changing or not living up to the realities of the times, then the same can be said of the security establishment. That's Ahmed Ayaz's point.
No, my point is situations are not changing.
Ashok Pandit, please.
I will clarify.
No, one second, sir.
My point is that
one second.
We see only security people facing the situation.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Okay, I heard you.
No
I heard you. Let
policy.
Ashok Pandit respond to you now, yeah.
Zaka, I refuse to accept that there is no change. Because on the ground level, the way people are coming out, the way people have gained confidence, there is no doubt about it. The way the security forces have been given the total powers, the way the terrorists are being killed, There is a massive difference. There is no, if I can't see that, then I'm a blind person. I don't want to accept it. I want to ask one question to these people, all the terrorist supporters, that and the local political parties, that you are blaming 370 abrogation for these killings. Killings are happening since 1989 when 370 was there. So why are you comparing or associating 370 with the killings of Kashmiri Pandits or the non-locals or others who think they are Indians? 370 is nothing to do with the killing. The reason why Kashmiri Pandit is being killed or the non-local has been killed or any Indian has been killed is basically for these terror organizations supported by the local political parties to prove that they still exist. That they still exist and they still control Jammu, they still control Kashmir. And that's why we are the soft targets there. Whom will they kill? They'll kill us because we don't have ammunitions, we don't have security around us. So we are soft targets. They will not kill a local politician or political parties. They are still backed by the Farooq Abdullahs who has nursed terrorism in Kashmir. They are still backed by Mehbooba Mufti, who has nursed terrorism in Kashmir. She and her father. So all these people, the local political parties who have lost total ground there, who are totally indebted to the politics, who are not asked for now, who have lost total control, are supporting these hybrid terrorism now to see to it that they still exist.
So
that is the basic reason and nothing else.
At one level, do you agree with what Ashok Pandit is saying, that the terrorists are doing this targeted killings, A, for the chilling effect, B, to send out the signal that non-locals and Hindus and Kashmiri Pandits are not welcome, and most importantly, they are doing this for their own relevance after the abrogation of Article 370. And mainstream political parties which have a point to prove or which have a relevance to prove with the going away of Article 370, they're also latching on to this by linking all the killings to the fact that 370 has been abrogated. So it's you scratch my back and I scratch yours.
As long as I am concerned, I don't think that militancy has...
SP Vaid Saab. Sorry, SP Vaid Saab. Thank you.
Zaka, I absolutely agree with Ashok Pandit, what he said. In fact, these are the reasons why they are being targeted. Kashmiri Pandits and outside labor is being targeted because outsiders are not welcome to send this message, to sabotage the development process of the Honorable Prime Minister and the Government of India. And the elected members of the Panchayat are being targeted because democracy, grassroots democracy, which was established after elections to the Panchayat, three-tier Panchayat system, and thousands of crores of money coming for the development of Kashmir. That is actually anathema to Pakistan. So J&K police personnel are being attacked because they are actively participating anti-terrorist. So this is with very, very clear strategy. As far as drawing parallel to 370, in 90s, as Ashok Pandit was saying, when 370 was, even then targeted killing was taking.
Correct.
So this is, you absolutely rightly put it, that you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But there are, as far as sincerity of the government is concerned, both union government and the UT government, no one can doubt so many changes. You saw yesterday's visuals. The board was brought down. The very same Hurriyat which led on behalf of Pakistan this stone pelting and terrorism in Kashmir Valley and ruined every home in Kashmir Valley. Today, look at the change in atmosphere. Oh, so much of development projects which are coming up, medical colleges. You see in Pakistan, POK, there's not even one medical college. Today you are coming up 10 medical colleges. For a small place like J&K Union Territory, IIT, IIMs, AIMS, you name it. And
all right. Vaid Saab, I'm really out of time. I want to thank all our guests. All I'll say is this, that, people who are thinking that 370 can be brought back or that we will go back to the old normal as it existed, they are living in a pipe dream. Having said that, is the targeted killing of Hindus, Kashmiri Pandits, a problem that the government needs to address and address as quickly as possible? Yes, it is. And they need to be given a sense of security, especially the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 Pandits who are living, many of them in camps. They need to be given the assurance and the feeling that this land is theirs and they will be protected in this land and they will not be singularly selected to be killed because of either their religion or their ethnicity. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, the dilemma over stray dogs is back in focus after a very vicious case here in the Delhi NCR region of a 7-month-old baby who is mauled to death by a stray dog in a gated community in Noida. That story and more when Tacks returns.